messing around, baby.
It's me with your boobies.
Lydian mode. What's the deal? It's a major scale with a sharp 4. That's it. So, if you're playing, again, we're doing E. So let's take an E. If you play an E major 7, and you can play the E scale with sharp 4, which is going to be a Lydian. Essentially, you're just playing a B major scale over an E major chord. E major, E Lydian, is the 4th mode in the key of B major. So if you encounter like an E major 7, sharp 11, you would play Lydian mode. One thing I want to mention about the modes that seems to stir things up and cause confusion. The modes only exist, in my opinion, remember this is all theory, these are all names and ideas that are attempts, theories, to explain what is going on in music, okay? So, if you don't know any theory, any of the shit, you'll be okay. You might have a hard time communicating things to other musicians, but... So, I like to think of the theoretical aspect of things as more or less a language, you know, not so much as rules. Now, with that said, of course, a Lydian scale is a Lydian scale. It is what it is. It's the name of that scale. You know, an apple is an apple. You know, by naming it, you're almost kind of creating a rule. You wouldn't call a banana an apple. You wouldn't call a Mixolydian scale a Lydian scale. So, I guess by naming these things, you're somehow contributing to this rule dynamic. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is that if you're playing a rock tune, like the end of Stairway to Heaven, A minor, G, F. That's just an A minor riff. You don't want to say, oh, I'm going to play Aeolian, G Mixolydian, and F Lydian, and then back to Aeolian. It's way too much explanation and bullshit for an A minor riff. If you're playing you're not going to go and put an A minor, G Mixolydian, A minor, D, Dorian, C. No, it's a fucking riff. It's in one key. If you're playing and you're soloing over that, hopefully you never have to, but if you were to be in a situation, if you found yourself in a situation where you were soloing over that, you wouldn't be like, oh, what am I going to do? I'm going to play C Aeolian, G Mixolydian, A Aeolian, and oh my god, what's F Lydian? No, it's a fucking key of C riff. You just play the C scale or A pentatonic, you know? You know what I'm saying? The modes come along, they come into play. If you want to hear a lot of, in my opinion, some excellent modal stuff, Satriani's Surfing with the Alien, man. There's a ton of great, like every tune on there is like digging into some modal thing. You know, him and Steve Vai use a lot. I mean, everybody uses Lydian a lot. But like one situation, a really simple situation where you would use like Lydian in jazz would be on the 1 chord. If you play a 2-5-1, let's say in the key of C, and that 1 chord, I will frequently play that C major 7 chord. I'll actually add the sharp 11 there. Or you can actually just play a D triad over the C in the bass. Now you might not like that sound, I like that sound. That's why when you read the jazz books, the theory books, they say you can, the smart ones say you can use Lydian or Ionian over most major chords. Some of them say, pretty much say you have to use Lydian, which is silly. But, you know, that's just an option. That's up to you, and it depends on the melody. It depends on what else is going on. But one of the coolest ways to work on your modes, man, is to just have a single bass note. Like I'm using E because I'm on a freaking guitar, and that's the lowest note on a 6th string, the way I tune it. So, like that vibe tune, I think he starts off in Lydian. And you notice whenever someone plays Lydian, they're always hanging on that note. That's a sharp 4. That's the Lydian note. That's what gives it that vibe. And you can throw it into your pentatonic stuff if you're playing over a major, like a major pentatonic thing. You know, stuff like that. I don't think I've ever done that in my life, but you can do it. So yeah, man, like, but the modal stuff, oh, what I was saying about the single bass note is, like, if you have a single bass note, you can play it like, mess around with the chords, mess around with the Ionian chords. You know, the Dorian chords. Phrygian.